Producing an album is far from being the cheapest activity in the world. However, it's an ambition of many, including myself. With the multitude of technology and budget gear we have today, you don't need to dish out millions in order to make a record. To start off, I thought I would show off the bass I used throughout the album. I got this bass around 4 years ago for about £70, and when it arrived, I very soon learned that you're getting what you pay for. When I first got the bass, the neck and frets were so rough that every time I played it, I was expecting to graze or cut my hand in some way or another. I must say, however, with time this problem disappeared. Can't say for sure, but I imagine I was effectively using my flesh as a substitute for sandpaper. All in all, this bass doesn't feel good, it was terribly made, and it doesn't sound too great either. But what I will say is that it's rather robust. Despite having taken many beatings over the years, I must admit, it still looks as good as new. I'd now like to bring up the audio interface I was using, in case you're wondering what that is or does. An audio interface effectively allows you to connect an instrument or microphone to a device. The one I purchased cost just £75, which is rather budget friendly considering its features and specifications. Having said that, you would still encounter some bugs and limitations, but for what it is and for all it cost, I'm happy with it. This now brings me onto the microphone, which was only £20. It's also the microphone which I'm using right now. Don't get me wrong, I don't have any real problems with this mic, and I'm sure it sounds just fine for YouTube. But it's not hard to tell that it just doesn't live up to the expectations of more expensive microphones. The final thing I'd like to talk about is the piece of music production software I used. There are many different options for producers these days, but I settled with a free piece of software called BandLab. Since I didn't have my own personal computer when I started working on this album, I needed to find a mobile application fit for the job. BandLab is a very streamlined and very easy to use piece of software, and I recommend it to all beginners before they overwhelm themselves with more sophisticated applications. Since I don't have a drum kit or even play drums, I was able to use a variety of different programmable drum kits throughout the album. There is, however, a 16-track limit for each song you create on BandLab, so I had to get creative at times. In the end, the quality of your record may be limited by your budget, but it shouldn't be defined by it. But the truth is, if you've got enough passion for what you're doing, you'll always find a way around any kind of obstacle you encounter, and that applies to anything in life. If you like, you can listen to Gavellant's debut album, Seismic, on most major streaming platforms, including Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, and many, many others. This way you can see for yourself just how it turned out.